at one point, it did feel like in game 2, with the alt chat, they did that 5-man dive bottom lane.
Yeah.
On you, they killed you, but then they got aced. Did you actually feel, and this is not a meme question,
warfare?
did you feel like the chat was helping?
I mean, some of my friends I talked with joke about a global taunt, but that was like probably the only time in the series where I actually felt like I just had a global Shen taunt on me.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe there's 5 people bot, no bot wave, just like
You're already there at that point, you know?
they were just there, like just ready to kill me. I was like, what? But I think I genuinely can make people lose focus and get in their heads just like a little bit.
Focus?
No,
Are you sure about that?
I promise.
Okay.
So you're saying like when FlyQuest 5-mans you bought, the first thing that comes in your head isn't, I'm going to type something now. What should I type?
No,
Instead of
the
thinking,
first thing that came
okay,
to my
I should
head
go
was,
from base to top
holy
here.
shit,
I should
there's 5 people bot.
And then
And then,
And then after the
and then
fact, I typed.
the keyboard.
You know, when I hit the green screen, we hit the, what are you guys doing, boss? You guys are noobs. You guys are trash.
what's the topic? Is the topic all of us are all chatters or what?
I mean, that could be the
Do
topic.
you all chat?
No, he doesn't all chat. He's just slightly aggressive.
I used to.
Used to. You do it the most.
Yeah, well, I know I do
barely
it.
do
But you
it.
didn't today.
I typed GLHF 3 times, all 3 games. That's it.
We were wondering if this was a directive from on high or if you just thought it was distracting.
No.
Why-
because you don't need it for Dig. That's all.
So you're back, you're all chatting next round?
Yeah, of course. For some of these, they're like not a bad team. So I have to start attacking Quid. Like Quid misses a cannon, nice cannon loser.
I mean, Quid, we don't know who's going to win MVP. I feel like Quid's probably going to win.
He should be
MVP.
top 3. He's top 3.
Surely
Top
it's
3.
Quid. What do you think?
I mean, we talked about it last week, but I said MVP is like just Quid, River, or I don't know. It depends what defines MVP for you. Because for me, it's a little different. I think it's actually the most valuable player to the team, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it relies a lot on mid jungle to win
I agree.
compared to like other teams. And it's like Jojo has been carrying his team a lot this split as well. Where if he doesn't do something, no one does anything. So it's a little. Whereas the best performing player might be in the best team.
Who on your team did
Like
the
Inspire,
best
for example.
for MVP?
I think it's Core, and I think he did Quid.
Okay, yeah.
But for me, MVP counts as like who was like the most valuable in like the series,
Yeah.
in like the actual official games. And it feels like, in all reality, I actually think 100 Thieves were losing a lot of these games. But the one who was like clutching up
Who would
for
just
them,
make a clutch ball.
yeah, I think it was him who was doing everything towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
that's why.
selfishly, as someone who's like going to have to talk about all the ballots next week, if he does win, it would be really awkward if he was eliminated. So I'm glad he won Game 5 yesterday. And you asked about topics.
I mean,
isn't that like a curse to get
that's-
MVP?
Yeah, I mean, that's what
can be.
happened. That's
So
what
the
happened in
Summit
Summer.
MVP, I think, was probably the most cursed.
It also happened last split.
He had a fight
Yeah.
the finals.
And then JoJo got MVP, Summer, and then me and Yeon
Yeah, it was like
booted
fifth
him
place.
out.
Yeah. Nice. What I wanted to talk about this week, though, is just like literally this week of games. So we can start with you guys because you played 2 series.
Yep.
Yeon, did you know? I found a fun fact. You had as many kills in the last 3 days as you did in 14 regular season games. You had 51 kills in the season and 51. You only played
Smolder?
Smolder once, man. Here's your games. So
You got
you
a
had the
quadro,
13
a
kill
triple?
Varus game. You had 8 on Smolder, 4 on Senna, 7 on
That
Zven.
Vara's game was a banger.
I feel like playing Smolder and playing with Dignitas are 2 things that inflate your stats a lot.
Okay, but I only had 8 kills. There was one banger game where I had 13 kills. And the first game of last 2 days ago was 8 kills as well.
Yeah. How'd you feel about the weekend? Like, what was the pressure like after losing to FlyQuest and going up against Dig today?
I don't think we had any pressure.
Really?
Like,
Oh,
at least, like, there was pressure to win, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
obviously we weren't, like, thinking we're going to get shit on. But, like, to me, I don't like to put pressure on myself going into matches.
I don't know, you can talk for yourself. I'm scared of their mid jungle coming through mid to a bot.
I griefed for you one time the entire series. The next 2 games, I had mid pro every wave. Go look at the R game. I shoved mid wave and I fog ball lane for you.
What about the regular season game? Format
We're
bot
talking
lane,
about
baby.
this week. We're talking about this
Okay,
week,
okay,
man.
this week.
I only fucked up
Speak
one
for
time.
yourself, man. I was like, I really hope their mid jungle doesn't go do what they did last time.
I messed up one time. My fault. Every other time I was fisting Dove.
You're what now?
That's good.
Beating him. Yeah. But,
yeah.
yeah.
In the face, right? Yeah.
yeah. Zven, you and me were talking before that when we were talking to Yeon about it. the game where the series really seemed to turn was early game 2, when they had the Varus Ashe, and
Game 2?
yeah, game 2,
yeah, okay,
and then
yeah,
Umti just like 3-camped bot lane. What was the like? Were you surprised that gank worked?
I was mind blown that it worked.
To be honest, I don't know if they worked or not. I'm sure we talked about it. It was like a bit while ago, so I don't remember. But we were just saying, wow, these guys are inting again in the bot lane.
really inting,
like we probably wouldn't have ganked unless they're like turbo inting. But I think we were just like, wait, these guys are so low. It's so easy.
Here's what happened. They invaded level 1. They ward your wolves like behind the wall, you know what I mean? Towards the chickens.
Yeah.
They ward your chickens on 1 as well. So it's vision on both camps. Then Ashe has sweeper, and Varus wards in lane bush.
All right.
Which you saw, I think.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
I think we
ping
talked about it,
You didn't ping it at least, but you saw it for sure. It was on your vision.
Which path did Umti take? I don't actually remember.
He just walked like the
tried
most
to-
logical path. He did his wolves. He blew at his scrub like, yo, this is kind of
Gank
free.
bot. They're pushed
And then
up.
he just collected a kill. I was like, wow, this was like so crazy. Ashe kills Q level 2. Ashe has sweeper.
Q level 2?
No hawk.
Yeah, he's on you, bro.
I can't remember the games from prior.
Yeah,
the only
okay.
games I remember is like the last game. But wow.
But he takes Q level 2,
I think we were talking about how
and then
I
he has
know we
sweeper,
said
and the only one they have, he uses in the lane bush. And I was like, wow, this is a lot of like boxes checked, you know.
I know we said that Ashe has E level 2.
Yeah.
But like we were like he's not using E,
Yeah.
more than he has Q.
I mean, he shouldn't have to use E. He has wards and chickens, right? So he has to just wait for him to show there. And I was like, so mind blown that it worked.
But even
also-
2v2 they were like very challenged. Like
Yeah, Ashe didn't use sweeper on the bush lane
yeah,
for
I
one.
was like, it was obviously warded too.
Yeah, he also didn't have Dorn's Blade.
Yeah, Dorn's Blade.
I
Like
think
our
you
Ashe game, we went Dorn's Blade.
I think you gotta go Dorn's Blade on both in this lane.
I think in the Senna game he had Core had D shield, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, D-Shield.
I think that's good by you guys that he goes D-Shield and you farm
Yeah,
early.
but then he started missing some CS. I was like,
Yeah,
still
dude,
need-
that actually triggers so much. When I play Senna, you short mid CS, you're like,
come on, that's an extra CS for me, man. Come, please.
yeah.
But besides that, he like missed like 2, and then he got everything else.
But I feel like in this lane, if you win early game as Senna and all this, it's already over.
Yeah, it's
It feels like the whole game is already. And then Jax kills Ashton 1v1. Yeah, like the game is already over.
The game's over. Senna with winning top side, winning bot side was like, it's over, baby.
Besides that
super
one time you
tilted.
get 3 forward on the
Yeah.
Herald, that's kind of cringe actually. But I was
happened?
kind of smurfing. He like walked forward, hit. So like you guys dive top, evolve at old top tower tier 1. You kill.
Oh yeah,
Jax dies.
We got killed like when we were leaving.
Yeah.
To be honest,
We
thought,
won, then we lost.
I think we were calling the fights over, and we are like talking about what's gonna happen next, and
Yeah.
they're still running us. We're like still talking about like the
And then my
next
jungle was on
sequence.
Herald. We're basically like, oh shit, guys, they're coming out. We
I
gotta.
think they're saying that it's over, it's time to fight, or it's we're just gonna lose. And
was
then
kinda
I was like, hit you guys, touch the hook, ditch you guys down. I think you died at the end to
Yeah,
ours.
I wasted flash too. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
this is so bad.
Did you get a chance to watch any of the other series?
You guys are screaming while they're playing, right?
Yeah.
I think we both watched Game 5 of the yesterday series.
Okay.
We're like watching like
banger.
in between like the games. so-
Yeah.
Yeah. Any of C9, the C900 at all?
I
like a
personally didn't watch
Thursday.
it because it was so fast.
I
Very fast.
rewatched it on like 2x speed later
Yeah.
on, but it was just
It was just slaughter.
mid one super hard, ball one super hard, top was just like even for most part, playing Crocodile.
I mean, this is actually really interesting because you're playing 100 Thieves next week. But there was a massive amount of 100 Thieves slander throughout most of the year. And then they did show up against Energy. They managed to take them out in 5 games. But like the Cloud9 series surprised me the most because it was so one-sided based on Cloud9 basically having a good week 1 where they 3-0'd. And then the whole Cloud9 is back meme kind of ran through the rest of the year. But like back to what? Back to that 1 week when they were good? Except it almost looks like they did this little half-pipe run, and now they're back to where they were week 1.
I'll give you an example of what I thought of them. It was like,
Okay. So they went up for like no one can see that. Do it
oh
like,
shit. It was just like at the start of the season, it was like up, down, up, to the middle, and then it was like up again right now.
Do you think they're the best team in playoffs?
Hard to say. I think 100 Thieves underperformed in that series mostly, and they played like to their level. So we'll just have to see in the FlyQuest match.
I mean, I hope they're very solid. They beat us.
Right.
But I'm just interested to see how that series goes versus C9 FlyQuest. I think two rounds can go either way. But I have a feeling, I don't know if you were the one that said it, but it brought to mind where it's going to be 3-0 either way.
You think so?
I said 3-0 either way.
Why?
I feel like the first game is going to matter a lot for both teams.
How come? Because both teams have so much experience besides the ball and FlyQuest. you think they're gonna be rattled? by
Someone
one
was
game,
bringing up
or-
like inspired tilt slander. I think that was Fudge.
It feels like
European tilt?
it feels like the FlyQuest side is like a bit like
Tilt. They
not
can
tilted,
tilt.
but like
Europeans.
European. And then C9, I feel like their first game matters a lot to them, in my opinion. Feels like if they mess up once, their like confidence goes down. I think they're a very confidence-driven team on C9.
You think most teams have that now?
Most teams, but like for us, we're like, don't think we played like very confident in the FlyQuest game for some of the games.
Yeah.
It was a very kill-heavy game.
Yeah, it was
like-
a fist fight.
Yeah, but today we were very confident in like going for every play.
Do you think it's because your opponents are worse? So you feel like no matter what you do, it's gonna work? Or
I don't think so. I think just in every play, like we like set up conditions for what was
Yeah.
gonna happen, and when those conditions were met, I'm just like, core, I'm with you if you engage. I'm team with you if you engage. Like they're always playing well today. They were
On that
just
note,
flashing.
I remember last week I asked you guys when you were here if you communicated in Korean. You said yes.
Yes.
And you were communicating 1v4, basically, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's true, right? You were one man.
Yeah.
I guess you speak both
I mean,
perfectly, right?
So it was basically the Koreans were talking, and then Core was translating, and that was also translating in like a
yeah, you
fight.
speak both fluently, right?
Yeah, not fluently. It's like decently.
Okay.
I'm not very.
So English is like 100 and Korean would be like what?
Korean was like 70, but like in game is like easier to translate.
Yeah.
Because I can understand it, but like speaking back then was not as easy.
Yeah. And then now,
This year's just English.
Yeah,
Full
it's
English.
Pure English.
Like
actually,
90% English.
If-
Umti has pretty impressive English for how long he's been here.
yeah, his English was very good before he like was taking
Yeah.
classes. But I think sometimes in like very dire situations,
He'll just speak Korean.
like if he's talking to like Core, right? He's
Yeah.
obviously gonna be like,
Yeah, that's fine.
think fast and then like Korean. So, but for the most, like I would say 90, it's like 85-15 is like Korean English.
Yeah. From what I understand, Korean is also more efficient of a language.
It's very fast.
In the moment, like you use less words to say the same thing.
Yeah.
pretty much.
So it's like just easier,
Can be
right?
better.
Especially in the moment for someone like him, right?
yeah.
I was gonna ask you what you think of C9. Are they the best team?
I mean, I live in their house. I watch the yeah, and I watch
So
the
if you talk
I watch
trash,
the
it's gonna be
scrims as well.
awkward?
So I actually watched some scrims with you guys this week. I think it was right 2 days ago, 3 days ago. I don't remember.
3-4 days ago.
Yeah. So I have a little bit of bias,
Okay.
but watching their scrims, you would think they're worse than they played against Hunter Thieves. So like my opinion might be worse because I think they don't show it up in scrims very often.
They're limit testers in scrims.
Who's the biggest limit tester on the
Jojo.
team? Just out of
Jojo
control.
and
In,
Blabber.
in scrims,
It's not
it's,
close.
it's definitely mid jungle in scrims.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they're doing some really insane stuff, and it's like, wow, this is insane. But sometimes it's just like,
Yeah, I was saying
what are you doing?
before you guys got here, I was saying that Mithi has a table slam counter at this point, and it's like he has to hold,
scrims
he has to
or
hold, he has to hold back from hitting the table because then you can hear it. But he's always like, oh my god, or like, it's like I'm gonna kill this guy. It's like when Blau jumps in and gives it 1k gold to enemy team's 80 carry. He's like,
Wait, was that the Shopify game?
no, just,
Or is it
That's
scrims?
just scrims.
it's a scrim
Oh,
thing.
just scrims? Oh,
but
shit.
actually, like last
Probably happened in LCS, but happened in
the
scrims.
previous week when C9 played Shopify, I was told that a certain coach hit a table so hard that the cable of the monitors that shows the game fell out or broke. And I was like, this has to be Mithi. I asked him about it. I asked Bobby, their manager, about it. And he was like, yep. It was when Berserker died in the base, you remember?
Was there a fine?
When he flashed in,
I don't think that's fine. Yeah, when he flashed in on the Kaiser, remember?
Oh,
he dies.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I heard
week
that
6.
too, actually.
And then he hit the table so hard that the table like shook or something, and then the cable like fell out of the monitor.
Hopefully, you didn't get fines.
I don't think you can find that, do you?
Well, I feel like only if you're
something breaks.
only if you're
Only if
breaking
it breaks.
stuff.
Yeah,
If
break.
it's like
It just fell out of
loosened,
things.
it's probably
Okay,
fine.
okay.
This is the socket. But yeah, I think C9 is the best team if they play their best game.
Yeah.
Are you
that-
coaching them?
I'm giving my opinions. I'm not like actively watching every scrim and coaching, but I'm there when it's scrim and I'm watching the games with Mithi long term, right?
Yeah, Vulcan. I think you should really play around Berserker here. If you just play.
One big thing was like Berserker's Senna was like, he roams too much. I'm like, bro, can you just fucking go to lane and just win? That's the point of your champ, is to win lane, make your support like an actual tank, not a support, you know? It's like,
He played very well in that one game against 100, was it?
yeah.
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 Yeah, the most recent Senna.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was like,
after week 6, when everyone flamed to souls, I think he actually
I'm
had
not
the
trying to
most
take credit or
souls in
anything,
10
but I
minutes.
told Mithi like, bro, stop roaming or pick a different champ. Like, you can just play at 80 carry and have, knowledge roam instead. This is how you're gonna play, right? Level 4 at like 10 minutes. I'm like, bro, come on.
Speaking of bot lane, I want to get your two opinion on this. We've seen all these series start with massive smolder prio, and then it'll just disappear like halfway through the series. Like, why is that happening?
Well, for us, They just banned.
Making him leak now?
I mean, they just banned all 380 carries.
Yeah, that one's
Like,
obvious.
it's on them mostly.
Yeah.
Because they're banning the 380 carries. They're like, what the fuck? Are they that scared of handshaking it? So it was basically, I think that's the main thing at least.
Is that surprising for you guys, since Dignitas has been so heavy on the hyperscaling champs? Like, you guys even banned the Jinx one game.
Yeah, it was like, this the only matchup was like, maybe they know a little bit better than us. And it's
Yeah.
like, we're going to prio it this game. But for the most part, I think if they're trying to go heavy through bot lane, they should at least leave those champions open.
Yeah.
And I think that was like their biggest downfall.
Yeah, I felt that was weird as well. They went for like Ashvars instead of picking the skilling champs.
Yeah.
It felt like that's how they won most of their games, they split.
If they're going to play heavy through a bot side, like perma stay bot, they should leave those skill champions open.
Yeah.
Like List of Varus, Senna.
I'm not trying to make you leak or anything, but what do you think about the first game, the Kai'Sa, the AP build versus Smolder? Because I think it was pretty decent, the strat they had. You know, they're playing like a full poke comp against your skilling comp.
Well, after they killed me, like they dove us and they
Yeah, that was
Kai'Sa dribble. I was like, thank God he built that. Thank God he built that.
You think it's bad?
I think it's not good if you're winning as hard. The thing is,
I actually thought the opposite.
there's good things and bad things about it, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I'll just say it here. I think if they had the static into Rageblade Nashers, I think he would have gotten 3 items really fast and to instantly hit Baron.
You think he would never come back?
I don't think they would have. I think they would just win any fight.
And the
because
game
how
would
strong?
stall.
I think the counter argument would be that the skilling build is fine because he's winning lane anyways.
Yeah.
They had 3 pushing lanes this game, right? With Jace top as well. And they
Well,
also have Invade Prio.
It just made me feel a lot more comfortable
Comfortable that you
because
make it?
even if my tank gets engaged on,
Yeah.
he's not strong. He's not strong in the front to back. He's just like a poking Kai'Sa.
Yeah. I felt like you guys wouldn't make it to the point where you outscale because they're already poking you guys from full screen away, right?
I think
Yeah.
they messed up.
What was it, the third dragon fight?
Yeah, also the
one?
second one, you get 2 kills. Double kill, shut down Lee Sin.
It was like it was the
relegation.
third or
It
fourth
was,
dragon
it was
fight.
a third dragon
where
fight.
I just
My
tanked,
teammates could not dodge their
I just
W
tanked,
for their
like-
life.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Yeah.
I
I don't want to say just dodge W, but I really wanted to say
If you
just
dodge
dodge
one,
W.
if you dodge one, you escape for the 20 seconds, right?
I know. I
me
just had about
personally-
like 3 or 4 in a row. I was like,
me
wow.
It's hard if you have no vision.
Sorry, guys.
Kai'Sa W is actually pretty easy to land if you know which direction he's in.
Yes.
And we saw which direction he's in, but my teammates kept getting him. I was like, please, his champion is only W.
It's kind of hard if you are trying to contest on their vision,
Yes,
right?
if they have like the zone, it's hard.
Yeah. I feel like they in this series didn't respect you guys having zone.
Yeah, zone
I
is
feel
very
like
important.
every game they're trying to fight against Rail with no vision, and then Rail presses flash WR and they die.
Yeah.
And then next fight, let's fucking do it again. And they die again. And I was
And
like,
they kind of ran it down at Baron as well.
like
towards the end of the game.
in the first game, the Kai'Sa game, they could have just given out Dragon, the third Dragon I think it was, and then take Herald, take top tower, use Herald mid tower, and I'm like, just give the Dragon.
Was the fourth dragon the one we got poked out and then we just?
Yeah, the
Okay.
fourth one was the one you got poked down and you had to give, but you guys got second Dragon in the game because of you got double kill with the Rail. You remember?
Me and Core got
Yeah.
Core got a really good engagement.
Yeah.
I just pressed my spells.
Yeah, I mean, you got
He
two
just
kills.
pressed his
anything.
spells too.
But I feel like
guess he was in the spot.
if the game is in a one dragon state, giving one dragon is really fine.
I also think the top play they made, where Xin Zhao just went on the what's his
And
name?
also the grief, yeah.
Yeah, it was bad, but like, I was like, nice, not me.
I actually thought it was a good play by them to like expect you guys to go top side because you guys can't fight the dragon if they're playing well.
So the thing
they
is, we
defended
saw the
Jace.
Nautilus.
Yeah.
I think it was a bit miscommunication with top and jungle. I think Renekton really wanted to stall time and it was like, I'm gonna look here, we can look here, and then leave immediately.
Yeah.
But then Ninja was like, I'm going in. So it was a bit of miscommunication.
I just see Umpty
But-
running to their turret going, give me, give me, give me.
And then Umpty thought it was, I don't know who thought it was better, because I was like, thank God that happened, I can breathe.
Do you think you guys should be a diveable bot in this game?
No, I think I just got hooked. Normally it should be Rel getting hooked, and we should trade HP, but
Yeah, EQs and then you just.
yeah, and then I just got hooked right behind him.
Yeah, I remember that was a good hook by him.
Yeah, it was a good weapon.
Nautilus.
Normally it shouldn't be a dive, but then sucks.
Yeah.
And then they played it decently well after the hook.
And then game 2 and 3 just felt like inevitable stumps.
Yeah.
It felt like in game 3, this Exio gank. It felt like, I was talking to Jatt about it, I thought he was maybe feeling pressured. Because in game 2, you guys getting bought level 3, and it kind of like ruined the whole lane for them.
Yeah.
And then he was trying to do the same back. And it just,
I think it's because they messed up level 1. They did not
Sarkhan.
get the best HP advantage.
yeah, you take W and you don't kill someone.
Like,
it's-
even if you gank Zeri Lulu, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Especially against Ghost. If I had Cleanse, I can see it working slightly. But
Yeah.
as soon as you wrap behind him, I'm like, huh?
Yeah. And then you guys still have the wave control afterwards. You dive them, and actually goes for like a top dive or like a Krog invade, core covers it, and then
Raptors, I think.
no, it was,
Oh no,
it
Krugs. Yeah, he was
Krugs,
covering
yeah.
top dive. Yeah.
Trying to dive, and then it was like nothing was happening. I'm like, wow, the whole game is already over.
Yeah,
At
the game is
even
over.
4 minutes of
His
the game. Yeah,
first Nocturnal too was wasted too, because me and Umpty 2v2
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
It was just like
they just threw.
they just don't have a jungler for first
yeah, I remember
8, 9 minutes of the game. It's like, wow, this is crazy.
They used a charm and their Nocturne Q and missed, and I was like, wait, aren't they just gonna die now? And then they died, and I was like, Nocturne wasted 2-minute cooldown.
GG.
And flashed.
Like, yeah, and like, who can you kill? Because top lane got a solo kill on Xante, so you can only go mid, and Umpty's there the whole game to cover you. After that, you guys played blue around that. You covered the only place they had the whole game.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the series you had 2 days ago, though, against FlyQuest. Harder questions, I guess, because you did lose the series. What do you think went wrong against FlyQuest? One fun fact that you've probably heard, and it's weird that it happened in a TL game, was that's the most kills that's ever been in any LCS series ever.
I did hear that.
Yeah, it was 205.
Fist fight every game.
The previous
the
rec-
next closest?
the 161.
Wow.
Wait, what's the difference again?
45 kills more than we've ever had in a
Not bad, boys.
playoff series before.
Well-
but it's crazy because like halfway through the split, you guys had the lowest combined kills per minute of like any team in the LCS or the LEC. How did that happen? One, and then second one would be kind of like what went wrong in the series.
I think
You can go first.
I think both sides are not willing to back down, because
You don't say.
yeah, like we know they're not gonna back down, so we're like, okay, we're gonna match that aggression, and we're not gonna back down if you don't back down. It's just like comes fist fighting at that point. And the games were very messy, where at every point someone was fighting. So we would fight mid, bot, top, like everywhere. It's just like
There was a lot of people were skipping a lot of steps, like on our side and on their side. Like we'd have a fight top lane, and like it'd be me or Yeon or whoever would troll by walking up the river and just get caught. And it's like, so it was fight top, fight mid, fight in the river. And that was just like the entire series. Like I remember it was game 1. They're making a play top lane, and then we're automatically making a play mid lane. It was just like so many fights happening over the map.
And the other weird thing about that series is it felt like every time, I think Nuke Duck ended up saying this, every time a team won a fight, they'd almost be guaranteed to lose the next fight somehow. And was that just like, it could just be random luck because that's how you end up with a 205 kill series?
I mean, it's often you win a fight, then you overstay for something like a dragon or a tower, and you lose tempo, and they have better condition next fight because they have more vision or more setup.
they have a one extra turn because we
Yeah.
used our turn to win and
Take something.
Take something.
Yeah. It's a very common thing in LCS that people don't understand. You have to give something. Even after you win a team fight, you have to give something somewhere.
I was walking to our jungle.
Yeah. You walk, oh, real,
here? What?
Exactly.
Wait, we won the fight and then we went straight top?
Yeah, you win a fight, take Drake, you base, go on top of the jungle.
Wait, they're all here?
Rel's here. Ah, shit.
Rel goes,
Yeah.
and then I
They
die.
played Rel?
Or any champion.
You guys played Rel today, every game. Now I was going to ask you about Fly's bot lane.
Sorry?
FlyQuest bot lane.
Yeah.
I think they're a lot more
Bucio.
aggressive than Dignitas' bot lane. I think they make a lot of mistakes, but their aggression is there.
Oh, with the Pike.
The Pike, I don't know if it was the level 1. Do you think it had something to do with level 1 depth?
I think
Probably a
that
little,
game you had a Doran's Blade support.
Doran's Blade into
and then you got First
instant-
Blood.
Yeah.
I think that's like,
And
in my
Easton.
head, it's already over.
The
Like,
support,
I'm
the
thinking-
support got the item too.
Yeah, that's what I'm
he
saying.
got the
that-
support item. It's
yeah.
like,
if you can play Ashe and buy a Doran's Blade and then get First Blood level 1 before wave even comes, it's like, oh my god, this is so free.
yeah, I was like, it's over. Ash got the kill. If anyone else got the kill, I'm like, nice, we got a small advantage.
Yeah. But I was gonna ask, that series you guys played every single game, Vars was Costa. That's one game I think he puts in, I think.
Yeah.
And it seemed like you guys were pretty comfortable in these matchups.
Yeah. So we haven't shown that we played Varus at all.
Yeah.
We just prioritize Calista over everything, and then we try to handshake any other matchup. But this time we were like, no, fuck that shit. We're matching it. If they're not banning it, we're playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically just that.
I mean, you kind of have to either match or lose something in draft, right? If you can't play certain matchups.
And we were like confident. We were like, yeah, I mean, we play both sides. We are very confident. If they're confident, we can just see.
This was actually the origin of your trash talk tweet after this series, because at one point it did feel like in game 2 with the alt chat they did that 5-man dive bottom lane on you. They killed you, but then they got aced. Did you actually feel, and this is not a meme
Mental
question,
warfare?
did you feel like the chat was helping?
I mean, some of my friends I talked with joke about a global taunt, but that was
Yeah.
like probably the only time in the series where I actually felt like I just had a global Shen taunt on me.
Yeah.
like, I couldn't believe there's 5 people bot, no bot wave, just like
You're already there at that point, you know?
they were just there, like just ready to kill me. I was like, what? You guys get 300 gold out of this at best, and they got wiped after. I was so confused.
Yeah.
What game was that?
That was game 2.
Game 2.
Game 2?
My sixth game 2.
I actually think that was just like a rhythm for them. I think they actually just wanted to make a really hard play, but then Ziggs
really
is like
fast
wave
play.
clears.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's just how they want to play, like fast into one side really hard.
I just couldn't believe it when I saw 5 people all around my turret.
Because they were faster than us.
Yeah.
But it just took longer because Kasante TP'd and like,
Yeah, nice champ.
nice jam.
I know it's only been 2 days and you had a series today as well, but APA, did you have any takeaways after that series for like things you would want to do differently next time?
I think my wards in the first 2 games were pretty bad. Like, we had very low information on Inspired. Like, the first game, I think I just kept warding like the ramp instead of warding Raptors. So I think I was trolling by doing that a lot, because generally the first 2 games we had like no clue where Inspired was until we showed up somewhere and got 300 gold. That's like, to me, the biggest takeaway I had, honestly. We actually didn't really lane mid lane, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I did 6 CS, Jensen would hit 6 CS, I'd go bot lane, he'd go top lane,
Right.
and then I didn't learn like too much from like Jensen, to be completely honest. I learned just maybe I should probably ward where Inspired camps are. to
Right.
spot
Better
him.
tracking of the jungle to kind of
And
open up the
then-
map for everyone else.
I was an intern side lane that series, so I talked about that with Impact, and I looked it over myself. So I'll change some things about that as well.
Awesome. Next week, you guys play 100 Thieves.
What day did we play?
You play Friday.
4 days from now, I think.
Yeah. Friday, Saturday is where LCS is next week. They did beat you twice in the regular season. We were looking back at it.
Yeah.
Such a different world. Game 1, it
Riven.
was the Riven Artemis Seraphine game. And then game 2 was really close as well. And also, Yeon, I think when you were on pros with Ayla, you were just saying frauds like the whole time.
Oh, it was just a joke. Because everyone in the community
What's it
says
do? Because I was here last week with some other people, and they were saying frauds, not a joke.
Well, I don't. It's weird because they're not that great at the early game phase.
Yeah.
But I think they actually have very like clutch moments. So that's very good for them. But if they can't fix their early game, like for example the C9 game,
Yeah.
if they
Getting
get blown
rolled
out of
over.
the water again, then it's hard to find clutch moments, especially in their high pressure like playoff series.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what affected them, but
Yeah, I think especially the Phyllis Lulu game, it shows that they lack experience. It's like a matchup that's been played for like 3 years now. You could watch Gen GT1 play it like 2 weeks ago. As you can get like an actual like, what do you call it? This is how you play matchup exactly. You watch the whole early game, and I watched them play it. And I'm like, facepalming watching them play.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a very
for
easy matchup to play if you have watched someone good play before.
scrimming you guys last year, I know both sides have like almost mastered that matchup. Like
Yeah.
we know like at almost every minute what's going to happen. But I definitely think that 100 Thieves is lacking like that experience moment.
Yeah, I was
in
watching them
matchups.
play level 1, level 2, and they were like, this is gonna be a stomp. 'Cause
Level 1 is the most important.
One side has played it before, and one side hasn't.
Yeah.
It's like our level 1, you can tell by spacing and by like how they move straight together what's gonna happen. And then it happened. You know, the monster gap in the ball lane. Because this is a matchup that you can't lose gracefully.
Yeah. You have to take every small advantage.
Yeah.
And then if one small thing happens, then that instantly changes.
I like how you're not giving any details as well.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Shouldn't.
I know, because you're going to be playing them next week.
I mean, C9 played with Tsunami already on stage, you know,
Yeah.
so like I can't, there's something to say, right?
It's just very like obvious.
Yeah. That's,
Small details matter a lot in that matchup.
yeah.
like, it's pretty common opinion that 100 Thieves ball lane are not that important to their games compared to the top side. Fly is kind of similar, I think most people would say.
I think that's pretty on point, but I actually think their FlyQuest's bot lane look for their advantages. But I think in our series, maybe it's because of level 1 again.
Yeah.
But they like lost that.
We put so many resources into bot lane level 1.
Yeah, but they were like very scared.
I flashed forward game 1.
Yeah, that's why I said
I mean,
level 1.
that was mega worth it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know, I know.
their bot lane was like kind of over. Honestly, I could have like
will-
choked them out level 1 harder.
Yeah, I
I
thought-
took like the safest route. So I thought it was just gonna be a 3v3. I'm playing the scaling side. I was like,
Yeah.
it's fine. I'll take the. But then after that game, I'm like, fuck. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I thought watching that moment that it would be really over for Kalista losing both his sums and a chunk level 1. But then he actually just farmed for free until he died at level 5. But that was his own fault dying
Yeah.
there.
So
He got hooked
what
at
I said
tower.
was, it was the same thing would have happened
Yeah.
if I was aggressive level 1. But thankfully they made a mistake.
Yeah.
So it ended up happening anyways.
Yeah, Alchem was the same.
Yeah, but
was
I
their mistake.
thought after that game, I was like, wow, I should just smash them bot lane.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have done it. That's what I got out of it.
I got a question for you about Ayla, since you played with him for like 2 years. And if you don't want to say this because like you don't want to trash talk or something, what is the laning phase versus the rest of the game for Ayla? Because I've always seen him, he's actually quite good in team fights and like likes to be in control of the game, but his laning to me has never been like one of his strengths.
He's a very adaptable player, I will say.
Okay.
If you want to play very hard laning phase, then he'll focus on that.
Okay.
I think it depends on what his focus is. If he wants to be like a team player at that moment, then he'll like, oh, let's push this, and then I'm gonna go through mid, blah blah blah. It's like just his focus of what he wants to do. So I know he can be a good lane player because we try to be very good lane players after like our first year.
Right. Your second year in academy.
Yeah. So it's just like what he wants to focus on, for the most part.
Sweet. Fair enough. I want to switch gears a little bit, unless you guys want to keep talking about playoffs, because there's only 4 teams left.
That's true.
And we had so much parity in the league this year. I was wondering to power rank the teams that are eliminated. Does that make sense? Because I saw some chatter on X, people like, I wish Shopify would have made playoffs because Dignitas got swept out today.
Please don't call it that, please.
Huh?
Just call it Twitter, please.
Twitter?
Yeah, come on.
X.
Okay, dude,
We can't be calling it that.
It's been long enough that I'm
No.
starting to call it X.
Nope, not allowed.
Okay.
If you say X, I'm like, what?
Yeah, exactly, right? I was
It's,
like, so,
it's still Twitter for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways.
still send
I,
out tweets.
I haven't updated my app yet, by the way.
Wait, do you still have the Twitter icon? Mine like auto-updated.
I have auto update
I
off.
have the X icon now.
Let me see, what do I have?
That's impressive.
Yeah, I have X as well.
You blocked.
Twitter.
Dude.
Wait, can you do
And
that?
it still works?
I thought at some point it will auto-update. You have an iPhone?
Yeah, I got an iPhone.
Doesn't it at some point auto-update?
I feel like
when
sometimes it
when it
bullies
gets
you
too
somehow.
old, the app?
Yeah.
And so the app says, update now, but I'm like,
You're like, no,
no,
please.
no, what I do is I just, swipe up,
Yeah.
and then go on Twitter again. I'm not updating it.
Nice. Okay.
Anyway, power ranking, because I think Immortals was actually like pretty good in a lot of ways, but they ended up having the
Even
worst record.
Shopify, honestly. They were, like, solid.
Would your power ranking of the bottom 4 switch at all now that they're all eliminated?
So
You want to go first, me?
You go first.
Okay. I think energy just crashed and burned, to be completely honest, at the end. Like, that was, he had like the super bad, super weak.
0-4?
0-4.
Was it, 0-4?
0-4,
just
yeah.
like
0-4.
the worst possible outcome possible.
disaster.
Stumped as well in last game.
Into 6 seed,
by
getting
Dignitas.
stomped in the tiebreaker.
And then, honestly, even in their playoff series, what I saw, like, they should have been like 3-1 or like
yeah, I mean, it
3-0'd.
was the Baron steal in Game 4 that kept him alive.
Yeah, Hunters played really poorly in game 4. The whole get Baron, then they open mid, go bottom. You remember this sequence?
what happened in game 1? It was a banger, right? Or
Yeah, that was the FBI 500 stack game, wasn't it?
Oh, God.
Was
Yeah,
100 supposed to win
FBI
that
got
game?
500 stacks on Smolder.
FBI had a game with like 20 kills, 500 stacks on the Smolder.
Yeah.
it's crazy that one team didn't win at 40 minutes. How did it go to 50 minutes?
Don't worry about it, bro.
Yeah, it was fine. They
I'm
won
gonna
that game.
rewatch it. I'm gonna rewatch it now that I'm not focused on them.
It's gonna be a long one.
How does Smolder get that many stacks?
Energy
did
just
he not
crashed
end?
and burned at the
That
end.
was the record at
and-
the time. Sorry.
So you're fine.
My bad.
Yeah, shut up, man. No, I just feel like the crash and burned so hard at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're just like team infighting or something. I'm sure something was up within like the team because that's like normally not what happens
Yeah.
for what should be like at least a top 4 team.
Yeah, Palafox mentioned that he just like didn't. He had like almost a self-reflective tweet. He's like, I just need to figure out why I'm playing so bad, because he really felt, I think, the most compared to what his form was last
Yeah,
year
for
to
sure.
the end of the split.
Yeah. And then I think Immortals was solid. Honestly, they were actually still like not like on FlyQuest level for sure, or like C9 level, but they felt harder to face in the regular season match last week than Dig today, to be completely honest.
So why did they lose so much?
I think a lot of their
He
games.
was last place, right?
I think a lot of the games they actually threw, like even the 100 Thieves games, that was like their, like the qualification match for the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
I think they were up like what 8K gold.
Yeah, I remember
And then they just
tactical.
completely
Was that
flipped.
the Seri game?
That was a
the
Zeri
Seri
versus
tactical?
Yeah.
It was so like 7-1, 7 like 6-1,
Yeah, it was-
something like
I
that.
think they're in a really winning spot most of the time, but they just can't close it out.
Is that the tactical factor? Like a really strong player in lane and really strong, like, he has a lot of X factor, right? He can play a lot of champs. He can be really tough sometimes, but then he does that.
Yeah.
It
Zven,
succeeds
I know
with the-
that game.
Look for Immortals at all the games they were winning with the red gold lines. Sorry for the camera, but they had like 4 games where they had pretty big leads at 20 minutes
Yeah.
and they still lost.
Yeah.
I mean, like that can be a team issue. It could also be small sample size.
For that game, it was probably the Zeri should have played a little bit safer, and they probably would have just won normally.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about the other games.
He
I think-
mentioned in the past, sorry to cut you off, that he sometimes feels pressure to carry 1v9 or no one will carry. That was last year. I think that's still common.
I think their solo laners are pretty good
Yeah.
at laning phase, especially. Yeah. So, and I think their bot lane is like a solid bot lane, and then their jungler is like standard, just helping the best they can. I just think they failed at the end goal part. I think they're a very solid team, especially in scrims, with unique ideas. It just sucks they couldn't close out the games.
Yeah, I thought they had a really creative draft with the 6 ball lane and the Jace top. I feel like they didn't play around Castle enough this split. That was the only game he played a hard carry, I think. That was the only Jace game he played the whole
I think
split.
Castle is one of the very best players in the league.
Yeah.
I actually think he's like maybe like top.
It's not that uncommon of an opinion, actually.
Yeah, I think he's like at least top 5 in like individual skill.
Of all players or top laners?
I think all players maybe like top. I would give him like top 5.
it's pretty
at
big.
least top 10. At
So
least.
what makes you think they didn't play around him more as a player? Because they didn't use him on any carries almost the entire split. It felt like, I think the Jace game might have been his only hard carry game. You can check stats on it.
Yeah,
What do
probably.
you
I mean,
consider
the
carry?
Jace
'Cause
game.
I remember
really
he was on
crushed.
like Aatrox a lot as well.
Aatrox is like a semi. I
It's like a
think.
Yeah, it's like you can
I
carry
prefer
if
it
you
as
get
a
lucky.
I
scaling
think like
champion.
Fiora, Jace, are carries, and then Gnar and Aatrox are like in-betweeners where Udyr and Xander are tanks.
They obviously
I think
didn't win
that's a
much,
fair-
but 2 other wins were Aatrox. One was on Udyr and one was on Jace because the only one.
I mean, obviously the meta isn't Fiora and Camille, I know that,
Yeah.
but
I think individually he could get his own leads, but
Yeah.
they weren't using it enough. Is how I see it.
yeah, I think in this meta with like champs like Jace and TF being viable, I feel like they didn't play that at all.
Yeah, he had like a Zac game in there. They were a little all over the place with what they were playing.
Zach was OP
Zach
at some
attack.
point.
Yeah, 075. But there were fights in that game I remember where he actually almost turned the tide. I actually remember that game where he was flying in on like 0-6 Zac and like chunking everybody out. It almost sounds like we have a more like my gut was Immortals was actually way better than last place, but then you have to put somebody last place.
Yeah.
And I don't know who that was because I think Dig had like good early games in a lot of situations. They I think really sucked today after they lost the dragon fights in the first game. I think they just they just collapsed. Like they mentally collapsed in that. And then Energy, obviously if we look at the most recent form, they were pretty bad, but I don't want to say they were like the worst team in the league.
So who is the worst team then?
It's hard to
Yeah.
say. Like every team is pretty equal. Like at the
They're
start.
all trash.
I know.
Yeah,
They're
pretty
all
much.
fit.
So me and Spawn, my head coach, at the start of the season, we're like, well, every team skill level was pretty even. I thought,
There's no terrible players.
yeah, there's no terrible team.
I agree with that.
I think there's a lot of the teams actually have like different play styles and different ways they want to win the game. I can like give an example. Like IMT has a really strong identity and like strong solo laners. And I think like Shopify had like not as strong solo laners, but had a really good early
ADC.
game into B-Void played pretty well in the mid to late game. And then there's Dig had like one idea of like play really hard through bot lane, then like play hyperscaling to
Yeah.
keep going. And then next Energy is like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like they're a very solid team, but it's just crashed and burned is all.
So who is the worst?
The worst. The worst right
IMT.
now would probably be Energy.
Yeah, right
Their
now it's
current
probably
form.
Energy.
You think if Energy plays IMT, given both teams kept playing,
Like they did a battle.
did they
of
actually win?
the best.
I
I think
IMT
Energy would lose at their current form. I think they showed very poor performances in the
Okay.
past. Like,
I mean, that might be true.
So in 8th we have Energy. Who's 7th? Shopify? IMT?
I think Shopify is pretty good. I think they just, honestly, they
If
just
B-Boy
choke.
can carry them, not 7th. But if B-Boy gets shut down, 7th.
I feel like you want to put Dig 7th.
Smells
in your
like
head
it.
right now. That's what it sounds like.
I think if
think-
you put Dig and Shopify together, I think Shopify would probably win.
Why? Because better AD?
I think
I think
both sides play through bot lane heavily, but I think B-Boy is just a solid player overall. I would give him my All-Pro first as AD carry.
Yeah.
I think he's actually going to get that because
Well, he's actually-
I put him all pro first for me.
Yeah,
I have no idea yet,
Yeah,
but I've
every-
talked to enough people that have put him first.
Every bot laner was very like even, but he played the best in mid game, I would say.
Yeah.
In early game, everyone was like complete like inconsistency.
Yeah, I know he can't get MVP because other people play better, but he's the definition of MVP in my opinion. Not actually the MVP of the league, but most valuable player to his
his
team
team, yeah.
by far, right?
I think
It's like
they
if he
played
doesn't
around
carry,
him and then
no
he
one
actually
does.
carried.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas if this team had a different player, they would just not function at all, right? So
Okay, so we just kicked the 2 bottom teams out of playoffs and replaced them with the 7th and 8th.
that makes sense, yeah.
Recency bias, not a big deal here.
Bottom 2 teams had really good like showings though,
They did.
Yeah, I
but
agree.
they just threw.
They weren't
They just
like
couldn't close the game, both of them.
yeah, they weren't free wins this year.
I was really low-key hoping that Immortals didn't throw some of those games down the stretch so that like the last place team would have like 5 or 6 wins. It would have actually been the craziest last week if Immortals didn't like
Yeah.
fail to convert so many of those.
Maybe even we could have been out of playoffs if that happened.
There was a chance.
It would have been spicy. Yeah, it would
There
have
was
been really
a
spicy.
chance we end like 7th
Yeah.
off like a tiebreaker game.
Yeah.
And that would have been tough.
All right.
Whoever plays better on the day.
I'm going to let you guys have a break, and we're going to wrap this up. But the final thing is I want to give you a chance, if you want, to gain a mental advantage for next week. Because 100 Thieves isn't on this platform.
Sorry. I'm gonna scale. I'm gonna use this as a scaling moment. Sven, you're coming back to AD carry next year or next split or what? You're looking?
We'll see. Maybe if you lose, I'll take your job.
Oh shit. You know, one time I was memeing like, Dodo, please don't replace me with Sven.
Don't worry. Dodo had me on Dona Wall. Or Dodo Wall, we can call it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Do you think you're better at AD carry or support?
I think it depends. It's kind of off topic, but I think like sometimes when I'm in mid game as an ADC, I know exactly what's going on in the game. I know exactly where I want everyone to be and what to do. I can shot call for my team as AD carry. But support, I felt like in mid game sometimes I didn't know where I should be at this moment. It was very easy when we played comps that are on the AD carry because I know that kind of mindset. But then I felt lost and I felt like it was frustrating because I could do so much more. And I'll watch a review, I'm like, oh, fuck, I could have been top here, I could have been bot here, diving this guy, doing this and blah, blah, blah. I was thinking it was kind of hard to play with certain
At that point,
players.
it's like a learning process, though, right? Because that was just checking your support.
There's like the first split or two splits were used learning champions. Sure, knowledge isn't that hard to play, right? But like, the difference between a good engaged player and a bad engaged player is huge.
Yeah, I mean, like.
So you have to learn all the champions, mechanics, and stuff, and then I can learn the role afterwards. And then we had the whole, MNS and I didn't have that best synergy. Personal issues aside, he wants to fist fight mid every single game. You know this. He plays every lane matchup to win, no matter what.
He's a very good player, though.
Yeah,
I would give him first.
There was a point in time where he played, and I thought to myself in scrims, this guy might be the best player I ever played with. I played with Expected, I played with Perks, I played with Prime, Mitty, so all these people, and I was like, I never thought this before. And then at Worlds, thought, wow, this guy is so. I wanted to.
Bad.
Never mind. Yeah. But then.
Hit or miss player.
For the actual question you asked, I think it's just different things. I think nowadays AD carry is a lot more about being smart than about being skilled. I think a lot of matchups bot are like not scripted, but they're playing the same way every game.
Same thing.
If you know what to do, you're playing around the bush, you're playing with sweeper this matchup, blah, blah, blah. It's more useful to be smart and experienced than to be. There's not that many matchups besides like, a Phil versus Tsunami. We really space. It's all about mechanics, right?
It's like that first wave, everything.
Like you can tell if you're playing against a Phyllis player who is a 17-year-old Korean guy from academy who plays 16 hours a day, right? You can tell the difference between pays on their failures and like, sorry, Meech, but you look at Meech, right? It's night and day. Yeah. So those matchups, it matters, but like, I don't think I have bad mechanics. It's like age like a narrative, right? Look at Ruler, Def, Faker.
We thought you were really good on support.
Really?
We were like, this guy's mechanically so good on support. Like damn.
Genuinely playing against your Melio last year, because we played a lot of Nico comps, right?
Yeah, no, I was kidding you. I remember this.
I just could never play Nico versus you, because anytime I would try to fly in, you'd Q me or you'd like ulti Berserker, and I just thought to myself, this is the only support that's doing this in the entire league.
Yeah, I think in China's get a lot of slander for being unskilled, but there's like small things you can do on them. But I mean, I don't know.
Core's a really good enchanter in my opinion.
Yeah, I
like
actually
he will. So for me, that last game, he only missed up like once.
Yeah, no ulti.
Yeah, because it was nocturnal. But I was like, I'm gonna go in. I trust you to Reconnal.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, so I know he's gonna do it for me because he's mechanically good and he knows what the champion is. But I think like almost every LCS support would not ult the Recon if you flash ult to me.
Yeah, I agree.
So like that's the difference between like.
I was often criticizing Code J's on range champs, not because he's bad, but because he's much better at the melee champs. When I watch Code J play Rel as Nautilus, or the other side around, right? He's very confident. Even in the Nautilus game, he was, eager on the Rel jungle, hooking him out of his W, making fun of him, right?
Yeah, we were like emoting.
Exactly.
Like, what is this?
You're making him stressed out. And then when Rel plays Rel, he does the same thing with the Qs. He does the interrupts perfectly. He just seems very comfortable in those games. And when he can roam, he can play side lane, he's much better. He's more enabled, I guess.
Yeah, it's like his
Same with
strong
Vulcan.
suit. Strong suit.
Same as Vulcan, but he's actually bad at those champs, at all. Like, Vulcan's a great Yuumi player. A great counter player, too.
Yuumi is a very skill-extensive champion. Like, you can tell a good Yuumi player.
The old Yuumi was better.
The old Yuumi, yes.
No cope. Like,
So, like, it's so
This is
obvious
why
a
you
good
such a
Yuumi player
failed
and a
design.
bad Yuumi
It's
player.
supposed to be easy, but it's really hard.
the ball is like,
Yes, Yuumi is actually very
Well, you pick 6, bro. Don't talk.
Yuumi is hard.
You from like max range.
Like, we both know how.
Do you want some of this? Yuumi is hard.
Like,
So I actually agree.
Having
Yuumi's hard. I'll take
Kitong,
it.
Kitong is the goat.
Kitong is so good at Yuumi, but you get any other Yuumi, like,
It's like people that actually block skill shots and do auto attack in lane. Nowadays, Yumi has been reduced to like a 4-range champ where you only press Q. It's like so disgusting.
It's like useless now.
Sure, the remake made Yumi worse.
Yeah.
But pre-rework Yumi
Like
was
someone
actually
who
really
blocks
hard.
a Soy bubble or blocks a decent Q and jumps back in. Actually, it does matter, right?
Trade your HP like when it matters. Like, it's
But for the
actually-
question, at this point, I'm like, I think there's a stigma around old people in esports. It's true. So it's like, if teams think I can't play ADC, despite hitting 1K in Korea and 1K in the US, more actually playing ADC, then I can't convince them, you know. So at that point, I'll take anything I can get just to play.
I think if you look for both, it'd be very good. I thought your support was really good compared to other people's.
Nice, bro. I appreciate
I'm
that.
not having high expectations for AD carry. This is where the scaling comes in.
I mean, you never play against me as AD carry, so.
Okay, so
I played against you once in scrims. Once.
this is the
When you were in
way this is the way you cook.
Oh, right.
Yeah, only once.
Was I playing with Academy then, at that point?
I think it was when.
That was Malice, right?
Yes.
Malice Isles?
Yes. It was
When
only
were you
one
in
scrim.
Academy?
Huh?
When were you?
That was in 2022. It had the
very start of
the
the
C9
LS
Korean
Korea
team happened
C9.
very late, so I had no option to go. So I said I'll just play Academy for a split. Then apparently it's only one import slot in Academy, so I was just jobless. And then I was promised at least one scrim a week with Academy against LCS. I guess I scrimmed once against you guys.
Yeah, it was from
Were you in LCS at that point?
No,
Or
we were
you-
Academy. We were Academy.
You were
I was
Academy,
like, I was
right?
very
Yeah, yeah.
bad, but I was like, he's just farming. Yes. So I wasn't that. I was like,
Wait, what?
you were just farming. I was like, nice, you're bouncing waves.
I don't remember what I was playing, but
Yeah, it was a very long time. I was like,
that was a
he's.
dark time in Academy.
Yeah.
It's like I was, promised by LCS, and then suddenly this C9 Academy, C9 Korean team happened with, Berserker, Winsome,
Summit.
and Summit, yeah. And then I was just not playing. It was kind of depressing.
I mean,
But
I've been super interested in this, but you were cooking to gain mental advantage at the start of this.
Yeah, I honestly, without Zven, the league is kind of boring as well. Like scrims are not as fun. Like,
someone told me about, our handshake moment last year, and I actually forgot about it. You don't
Yeah, I remember-
You
I
don't
remember
remember, yeah.
about it.
I was like, I didn't even care about it at this point.
yeah, I was like,
I thought in the moment, I was really angry about it. I was like, I felt like what you did was BM in the moment. But looking back at it, I was like, he was just backing up his teammate, which I was doing as well, right?
yeah, I was like, I didn't care. I like before that, I liked you as a player, and was like,
And then you didn't in the moment.
yeah, I was like, I was like, how dare you?
And now we're back.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, it's
even,
how it is, right?
like even after that happened, I was like, I don't really care. It's like I respect him as a player, and like,
yeah.
it's like
I felt the same way. Like, Jatt mentioned to me just before, and I was like, I actually forgot about this completely until someone mentioned it to me, right? How do you feel about this? Because
The handshake or?
no. You're yapping in all chat, and then you lose to FlyQuest, and Jensen, you saw this, right?
I don't think
Did
I
you
saw
see the
this
tweet?
He called you bad afterwards.
Yeah,
Did it? Okay.
Basically, he talked a lot of shit
quote
after they
retweeted
won.
that can a gold player get carried by Team Liquid?
Oh.
He quote retweeted that and said,
Okay.
guess not.
Basically, he talked shit about you as a player, called you bad, blah, 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 after you lost. Do you feel like it's taken too far?
No. Why not? I mean, he won. Like,
I have always had the opinion that bannering is cringe if you do it after you win only.
he was typing in the series. Him, Buppo, and Inspired were all typing to me in the series.
Yeah.
I was 1v3 in.
Bro, what the fuck? You gotta back him up here a little bit.
I learned.
I was 1v3
I learned
in
from
the
the past.
entire series.
So I don't know if you know. If I'm
You
playing
wanted a
it-
handshake after the game, that's why.
No. So what I've learned is if I think they're gonna type, I block their entire team
Yeah, I
at
feel
the start of
that.
the game. Like every game, like C9, instant block as soon as the game
Oh,
starts.
Jojo, man. Oh, Jojo doing types in
Yeah, but
that
just
team.
in case. Like I've done it. Like even today.
Isn't that even insecure, bro?
No, I just don't want to see anything.
Bud was
Like,
gonna
I want
type,
to focus on the
Jason's gonna
game.
tilt you.
Yeah.
Like after
I
that
feel
C9 game, I was like, wow, I actually kind of lost a little bit of focus.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I was like, I learned that, and I'm always gonna block if I think they're gonna type. More than like insecure is like, I want to focus on the game, mostly. But then I didn't block them in the FlyQuest game. I was like, I wasn't expecting them to type, and then after the first game, I blocked them all.
They have 3 Europeans, so.
You know so to talk about what you said,
Yeah.
when I learned that I lose focus when people type to me was when I was in Academy last year against Dplex. And this was spring.
Same culprit.
This was spring
Another
in
European.
Academy. And he was just permanently all chatting to me. And at the time, I think he was just a lot better than me. And he was just completely gapping me in mid lane, just like typing, just shit talking to me the entire like playoff
Yeah.
series. And it got so much in my head. So
You got inspired by Diplex.
I was genuinely
Is that what
inspired by
you're telling me?
Dplex out there. And I don't know, I just realized how much it affected me. So I realized even if I'm not playing that well, in a series, if I'm typing to, Buffo, Inspired Jensen, Masu, like whoever it is, like Quid for next series, even if it's like just like a 1% difference to like make them lose focus, I think it's good. And then I've like had talks with Yeon and Core and everyone on our team. They don't really care. I don't think it affects them.
Do you mute him as well?
I muted him at the start of the season. Then he started doing timers.
him.
Yeah, I muted him at the start of the season during scrims because I didn't want to see it.
Well, then I flamed him because there was a point in time where I was actually timing timestamps.
So then I unblocked him.
Later timing summoners?
And then he stopped
Only
doing
mid
it.
laners.
And I was like, this
Think it don't be or
bastard.
what?
And then I stopped doing it, so like now you can mute me. It's fine. I don't type anything useful.
I was like, as soon as I unblocked him, he stopped doing the timers. I was like, God damn it.
But I think I genuinely can make people lose focus and get in their heads just like a little bit.
Focus?
No,
Are you sure about that?
I promise.
Okay.
So you're saying like when FlyQuest 5-mans your bot, the first thing that comes in your head isn't, I'm going to type something now. What should I type?
No,
Instead of
the
thinking,
first thing that came
okay,
to my
I should
head
go
was,
from base to top
holy
here.
shit,
I should
there's
top
5 people bot.
And then
And then,
Oh, then after the
and then
fact, I typed.
the keyboard.
You know, when I take green screen, we hit the. What are you guys doing, bots? You guys are noobs. You guys are trash. I forget what I typed. I typed so much that series. But
So is it worth that it slows you down a little bit?
well, I'm also not the person in our team that like says where to go. Like,
Yeah,
Core
I mean,
is
it's
the
not
main
me.
shot caller. He'll go, yeah, we're gonna play mid bot here. Not me, but just like the team in whole. Like Core will say, hey, we're gonna play mid bot here. We just got Baron, and then like I'll talk with Impact. Like all the time, I'll go Impact.
assignment?
Yeah, it was like Impact. I can beat these 2 people in side lane. Like I can beat whoever. I can go bot. I can go top. And then
TPs and so on.
so what happens when they meet you? And then you're just typing to the void.
that's a win. That's a win. That's a mental win.
It's a mental win for you. It's like
my first
meditation.
season of LCS, I insta-blocked Jojo. I'm like, I'm not seeing that typing anymore.
Also, I don't think they
Jojo's
muted
fucking
me.
annoying though. Like he types R 500 times in lobby in scrims.
I don't see it.
I mean, I heard even his own team mutes him because he's not doing timers either. So it's just like they don't need to see it.
I will say, I played support for a year and a half, right? And I was doing timers. And then every game you don't do them, someone tells you to do them. I'm like, Mithy, bro. No one looks at my timers anyways. So do you look at timers?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've
You
started.
time yourself, so you know. But like, I will,
I've
He did for a bit. He stopped doing it.
I will type AD 1750 flash. Just 80, right? And then I will ask before every fight, does he have flash? I'm like, Control V 10 times in chat. Apparently not.
I mean, we have that problem too. Sometimes we're like, guys, I said it, I typed it. Like sometimes I was like, it's like in the heat of the moment, you're actually not looking at chat.
Yeah, you're not.
But if you look at chat and you're like, okay, this guy has no flash for like X time, I can abuse that.
Yeah.
Okay. On scrims or in scrims, I'm a culprit of that. Where I'll be like, Core does their mid laner have flash in this timing?
Control V,
But,
Control V, Control V.
On stage, I know I'm always looking at chat on stage. So
Oh, you learned that. You have it maximized in the.
You know, this chat is so small actually.
Really?
my chat's on 0, like 0 studying.
Doesn't see anything.
That's so random.
The
Oh,
guy
okay.
who types the most has the smallest chat.
I know this is long ago, but since everyone was doing it, Zven.
Yeah.
I do legitimately think your support and your AD carry are both like top 3 LCS easily. And even if it's not,
Is he in top 3?
even if your knowledge and experience would also outweigh those things, even if you weren't top 3, because I think your contribution to a team, with how experienced you are at this point, like you actually know how to win.
Hell yeah, keep
and
going,
like
Jed.
having that presence in a team is actually just super important.
So what Core said was,
Almost there.
Legit-
Core told me, Core told me, he's like, he always tries to gaslight me. He said,
So even the year,
I can tell
even the
you.
year when I think you came back from MSI and like you were sent to academy for like a month or
dude,
something.
come on.
I don't need to get into that, but
times.
Cloud9 was straight up worse as soon as you left.
Yeah, I mean,
but I also
obviously.
heard when you came to academy.
If they're better without their
like-
with a Academy player than me, then it would be over for me.
But
right?
when you went to academy, I'm sure you were salty and pissed. But you like walked into academy and you're like, let's win, rather than running it down. Like you're always
Academy was
trying to
actually
win.
so chill. Like, not lying. Like, Academy life is so easy.
It's
you
very-
do nothing the whole week. You scrim less.
it's way too,
You
it's
have-
way too simple.
Your games are online. So you just play 2 games with like no time between, no broadcast basically, no interviews,
There's no
nothing,
pressure.
no content. I was playing like 90 to 100 games a week in Academy. Well, it's just I think most people play like 30 to 45 games a week.
For me, it's like,
Obligations.
when I was in
scrims,
academy, I was like,
reviews,
oh, I
drafts.
could perma play solo queue, and then I changed to LCS, like
Yeah.
meeting, review.
Yeah.
It's like, there's something to do.
Content,
review, content.
LCS, you have to be here an hour and a half before, an hour and a half after.
Yeah, the 3 match days a week when it's like triple best of 1 are actually killer. Like it's so
You were
much
saying
harder to
before
improve.
something, before Jatt started glazing me.
Oh yeah, no. So Core constantly tries to gaslight. He's like,
Oh yeah, guys.
so like, yo, I was listening to Berserker's interview. He said, wow, their AD carry is really good in laning phase, but he really can't play anything else. And I'm like, dude, there's no way
About you or?
about me. But I know Berserker won't say that. He can think that, but he won't say that. I'm like, nice try. I'm not even gonna watch it. There's no way he said it. And then today he's like, Zven on the podcast said, or Zven said he's better than you. Is that true? You said that. I'm pretty sure you said that.
Yeah.
I would believe that.
Okay,
though.
but like,
Oh yeah, Core was baiting him though.
he was
Like,
kind of
literally
like
just
he was
straight up
pushing it,
asked,
you know. It was
Oh,
like,
okay. So
like, he was
You
like,
think you're better than Yeon?
he kept asking me if I was better than like people, and I was like,
Yeah.
I can't just say no. Like, what kind of player are you? It's like when I asked Core, are you gonna beat FlyQuest? He said, yeah. Oh, of course you're gonna say yeah. You know, and then he lost. It's just this is how it is, right? You can't just say no. It's better. No.
so Core,
I'm worse.
Core was doing it to you.
Yeah, he was gaslighting. Like, not gaslighting. He was like
was
baiting me.
instigating.
Instigating. Like the Mark Ronson meme.
Yeah,
like-
he's always instigating as well.
That's amazing. Okay, I do want to give you a quick amount of time to gain mental advantage before next week, if you want.
Nah, don't need it.
You don't want to order a Yappuccino?
Yeah.
Good.
No yapping for against 100.
I'll do that in this.
I like
Okay,
100
you're doing
years.
serious.
Do you know people call you Yappa?
Yappa.
Sinan calls you Yappa.
I don't type that much in scrims.
No, but they call it. They call you that. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
That's a great
That's a
name.
funny name.
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
I think in like 5 or so days I can name change. So that's top candidate for
someone-
name change in solo queue.
Some joke someone told me, it wasn't Sinan, someone else told me that when someone talks too much, they say, who ordered a Yappuccino? How do you feel about this one?
C9 memes are so good.
Yeah.
I've heard some C9 memes from Marmal.
Honestly, like, I'm the biggest C9 meme creator. They still use my memes nowadays in the team.
and this isn't just another thing you bring to a team.
But most of them I steal from other people that are not in esports, like vegan.
So like our team just like says, wow, that was so vegan. And then like
It's so
my
good.
head coach just says,
Is he vegan?
they were on the same grass diet. And then Impact out here says, man, they're like Gandhi, they don't want to fight. They're pacifists.
Back just goes whenever you see someone extremely messed up, it just goes, let's talk.
Let's talk about it.
But like those memes and then calling champs Mr. Useful, it's like
I like the Mr. Useful one.
Yeah.
That was
Mr.
good.
Useful?
Jin is Mr. Useful
Is it?
because he's very useful.
He's a good champion.
Thank you guys for taking the time. Congratulations on moving on to next week. You play Friday. LCS is on Friday and Saturday next week for 2 semifinal matchups to see who ends up going to finals weekend. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.